Pakistan's Prime Minister is asking US President Donald Trump to extend his deadline on Iran for 2 weeks. He posted on Twitter saying to allow diplomacy to run its course. I earnestly request President Trump to extend the deadline for 2 weeks. Pakistan, in all sincerity, requests the Iranian brothers to open Strait of Hormuz for a corresponding period of 2 weeks as a goodwill gesture. And then he continues to say, we also urge all warring parties to observe a ceasefire everywhere for 2 weeks to allow diplomacy to achieve conclusive termination of war. This tweet is important because it is coming from the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Pakistan has been actively involved in facilitating talks between the US and Iran. We know that yesterday Pakistan passed on a US proposal to Iran, which Iran rejected. It was a two-stage peace plan which asked for a temporary ceasefire and for Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz, and in the next few days, talks between Iran and the US for a broader settlement. Iran rejected this proposal, saying that it wants a permanent and a definitive ceasefire, and presented its own 10 points to the US through Pakistan. And some of the points were that Iran will not be attacked by the US and Israel, that sanctions should be lifted, regional conflicts should end, and a couple of other requests. It obviously seems that this was not acceptable to the US, and therefore we saw that just hours before the deadline expires, Donald Trump, and he threatened to basically wipe out Iran's whole civilization if Iran does not make a deal. And in all of that context, this tweet from Pakistan's Prime Minister seems like last ditch effort for diplomacy to work, for mediation to work, so that if US does not act on its threat and start carrying out intense strikes on Iran, and that there is some settlement between the two countries, and at least for 2 weeks the fighting, there's a pause in the fight, and then maybe negotiations can continue as Pakistan's Prime Minister is saying, and maybe some settlement can be reached.